Hi guys, welcome back to Seco Hub. In today's video, we will be talking about server name indication. Right, this is again an important interview question. So, what the interview will basically be asking you is if you're connecting to a website, consider you're connecting to a website called secohub.com. Right, you're connecting to a website called secohub.com. Now, you're basically starting to connect from here. This is your client, this is your default gateway, this is your internet or the cloud service, right? And then you try to connect to secohub.com, right? So we know a couple of processes that happen in the backend, right? Starting from you connecting to the default gateway, getting in, connecting to the default gateway, getting in the ARP, right? Request and response, wherein you get the MAC address, sending the packet out of the gateway, right, towards the internet, and where from where it flows directly to the secohub.com server. Plus, initially there will be a DNS process that happens. You have an AND function, you have an R process, and then once you reach the server, you do a TCP plus SSL, and then via HTTP or HTTPS, basically HTTPS because we have mentioned SSL, you fetch data from the server, right? This is the process that happens in the backend, and this would be the hierarchy, right? So that is how in this sequence it will happen. So now, what the interview is going to be asking you is, so if you have a packet capture, right? If you have a packet capture right here, right? Something like this, right? If you have a packet capture like this, how would you know, to basically check from the packet capture what website or basically what URL are you trying to connect to, correct? Because the IP address you can get directly from the IP header. What will be the IP header in this case when you're sending packet across? So the source address will be this. Destination address, since you have done a DNS, will be 50.1.1.1, right? So you already know what is the IP address, right? So you can basically, um, you can basically get in the destination IP address. But how about the URL, right? Now I know some of you will be very smart, right? And you'll tell me that okay, since we know the IP address, I can do a reverse NS lookup or a reverse DNS query with the IP address, right? And from 50.1.1.1, I'll get secohub.com, right? Secohub.com. Cool. So no, that is not what we are going to be focusing here. But yeah, correct. That is anyway the first thing, right? The first thing is a reverse DNS process that you can do. So we will write all the possible answers here. Reverse DNS query, right? Let me just write it clearly. That's the first one is going to be the reverse DNS query. Okay, to get the IP address. Right. Next. But from the interview is specifically asking for the Wireshark. Then what will you do? How will you find in the URL? So for the URL, right, there is one simple answer. That is the SNI field. It's called server name indication. So in your Wireshark, whenever you go to your Wireshark, right, you will you will see these steps, right? DNS and TCP. So once you follow a particular TCP stream, right, in that you will see a server name indication. This will have the URL which you're trying to connect to. This is among one of the things which I teach, basically, to help people get in their data correctly. So there is a filter for this that I use. TLS.type dot handshake TLS.handshake.type equal to 1. Once you search this, right, you will see client hello. With client hello, you see the SNI field. You see a lot of SNI fields, right? So now we'll use the one which I access, Cloudflare. So we'll go to Cloudflare, right? We'll follow it as a TLS stream. Let's close this. Yes. Now see. I hope this is, yeah. So now see this. So cloudflare.com. So we have a TCP connection since NAC and ACK, right? We have received two acknowledgements, so this is fine. Now we have a client hello. So where do you see this, the, what do you call, the SNI field? Let's go under TLS. Under TLS, let's open this, client hello. With the client hello, you see version like we discussed before. TLS, there'll be multiple fields, right? Because this is the first client hello message. They'll send their own client hello, the version, the cipher suits, the client random, right? So we have 16 cipher suits, right? We have compression methods, extensions. But there is a specific field here which will have server name, right? When you click on this, and you will see another thing called server name indication extension. Then you click on it again, you see the server name. It's cloudflare.demdex.net. Right, you see this server name right here. So we can try it for any other stream as well. Same thing, just go here, tls.handshake.ip equal to 1. Search it. You see many URLs here, right? You see everest.tech.net. We'll follow this one again, the same process. Close this. This was the loading page that you always get when you try to filter out. So again, you have Cincinnati and ACK, you have a client hello. Right, let's close everything and then let's start it again. Okay, we'll go under TLS, we'll open TLS version, then we see a client hello message. When we open the client hello message, we see the version server. This will be it will contain cipher suits, it will have compression methods, it will have client TLS version, it will have a client random value which will be later on used to generate a master secret, right, using pseudo random function. And then when you scroll down, keep scrolling down, you will see something called server, server name extension, right? There are a lot of things that are open here. Let's close all of these. Yes, you see server name. When you go inside this one, server extension, let's close it and then open it again. When we opened it, we see the name, server name as cm.everesttech.net, right? So this is how you basically get the server name indication field. This is again a very important interview question basically, which will be asked among 3 years plus of experience probably, right? They don't ask much of this with the entry level or initial associate level experience, but yes, later on they'll definitely ask you, how do you find out the server URL? So this is among one of the methods, right? But yeah, this is not just one method in this. Let's just talk about the other ones first, and then we'll talk about why SNI was introduced and why is SNI very important, right? Like we said, DNS, reverse DNS query, right? Also, in the initial stage, when there will be a DNS query, correct? When there will be a basic DNS query, in that you will see it is searching for ccohub.com. So you can use DNS, correct? The first initial DNS packets, you can check the server URL, okay? And then again, also, there are application layer datas like HTTP. Let me just write it again. So HTTP or HTTPS, both slash HTTPS. In both of them, you will find the URL. So these are common mechanism where you will find the server URL. Reverse DNS query that you can do manually. Right, this is very important to remember. This is manual. SNI field you will see directly in the Wireshark. DNS query you will see directly in the Wireshark. HTTP or HTTPS, that are application level protocols. In this also you will directly see in the Wireshark. Right. So these are basically 4 ways by which you can see the server URL your client is trying to connect to. Now coming back to SNI. Why is SNI important? Server name indication is an extension to the TLS SSL protocol that allows a client like your web browser to tell the server which website they're trying to connect to at the very beginning of the TLS handshake. Now we'll explain this via this diagram that we have, or the network topology that we have. Right, so it's again the same URL, ccohub.com. So basically what happens is, if this is a URL, right, it is hosting, because we know that the shared hosting takes place, right? So we have a shared server on which we have a cchub.com URL, and on the same IP address we have another URL, right? Let's just say another URL that I have is just for example, secotext.com. Just for example, secotext.com. Both of them have different certificates, right? Both of them have different certificates. And when I tried to without SNI, what happened was when I was trying to connect, right? When I was basically trying to connect to, you know, a server, right? What happened was, uh, you know, what happened was, if because the server is hosting, you see here, the server is hosting two websites on the single IP address, right? So the server, I try to reach out to the server that I need data on Seco, I need data from secohub.com, right? But I just have the resolution. I have 50.1.1.1. So I am just, basically sending a GET request that I need data, right? So what happened was sometimes it resulted in errors that I wanted secohub, but it was displaying secotext.com, right? This resulted in errors, a lot of errors. So later on, what was introduced was I am trying to get data from 50.1.1, right? But in the first message itself, I am saying that I need data from secohub.com. And where do I say it? I say in the client hello. You see this? everesttech.net. I see it in the client hello itself. So the first message of the SSL message, the client hello, I specifically asked the server that I need data from this website and this website only. No text, nothing. I don't care what's in the backend. I need data from this server or this website particularly, right? So what happened was I get the data which I require, nothing else, right? So this brought down a lot of errors. So again, with SNI, what happened was when you type in a website like example.com, your browser sends the host name to the server in the initial message, client hello message, like I told you. So what this resulted in basically sending the required data. The server then uses this information to select and present the correct certificate that is present. So once you get the website, when you load the website, it'll have the certificate, right? You'll see a padlock, correct? So this is why this is very important. Okay. And basically, if somebody needs to go through the SSL, handshake process again, right? You can either use the Wireshark video that we have created. Just click on the I button, right? You'll see the I button on the right of your screen, top right of your screen. Use that, or if you want the theoretical session, you can basically use the first session we have created, in which we have the packet flow, the SSL handshake, plus the chain of trust mechanism, right? That will again help you a lot. Plus, we do have a dedicated video on chain of trust. If somebody wants to go through it, well and good, right? Now resuming back, so what are the benefits of SNI? Why we use it? I know that we use it because we need particular website, right? And we have a lot of shared hosting right now, single IP address. So we need put bright data, so we use it, right? So what are the benefits? The first benefit is multiple websites on single IP. It allows the websites to share the single IP address, right? Share the single IP address, improving resource utilization and reduced cost. Or else I would have, been creating multiple servers with different IP addresses, and I need to spend multiple, costings or multiple bills on multiple IP addresses, static IP addresses, what I want, right? Because I need to enter it in my DNS as well. Then we have improved security. So since we have, one particular server with multiple hosting, right? I can deploy a single security mechanism on that. Plus, since because there is no error in certificate, right? Since I send you know, the client in the client hello itself, I sent a particular message stating that I need this URL and this URL only, right? Because of this, what happens is, this ensures that the correct certificate is presented, because I get only that data, that only certificate in my padlock, right? When I click on it, I see that certificate. This prevents a lot of man-in-the-middle attacks that may try to intercept and modify the connection. So this adds a lot to the security perspective as well. So this is again an important interview question about SNI field, SNI indication, which is mostly asked in interviews these days, right? So if they ask you, right, Just for a quick recap, if they ask you how do you find out the server URL that you're trying to connect to, first you will say reverse DNS. I'll do a manual entry, but if you're talking about Wireshark or a packet capture, I'll start with the server name indication that is present in the client hello, right? It's a particular extension, right? Then we have, then I can basically, to simplify things, I can use a DNS query, right? I can see the first DNS query message that is sent. It will have the URL. Also, I can see the application level protocols like HTTP and HTTPS. They will also have the client URLs, right? The get message basically. So this is where I can get. And talking about SNI particularly, it is basically sent in the client hello. First, it's first message itself, so that we do not get any errors while trying to fetch data. Mostly because of shared hosting, wherein we have one single IP addresses and multiple, websites in place with multiple basically certificates. Right? I hope the concept is clear, and I hope you like the video, guys. Thank you.